into this. This is so important. This could make a huge difference to, well, the happiness of your whole family by giving them the dopamine, the happiness hormone that they are craving in a positive way. Because if they're not getting it in a positive way, they will find every which way to try and get dopamine in a negative way, which is never good. So dopamine, if you haven't come across this before, is made in the brain. It's a chemical. It acts as a chemical messenger. It's a hormone, and it goes between nerve cells and the brain and the body, like producing messages and things. And people with ADHD often have more transmitters of dopamine, but this means that their levels of dopamine in the brain are generally lower. So what does this mean? Well, dopamine plays a role as the reward center in the body, and it helps with functions like memory, motivation, attention, movement. It affects behavior, attention, sleep, mood, learning. So this feel good hormone is so, so important, and we are hardwired to want it, to do whatever we can to get this. It's a pleasure. It's hardwired within us to make us want to do survival things like eat and drink and things like that to keep us alive. So we are rewarded when we do these things. And our brain's wired to seek more of these things. So, for example, you get a kick of dopamine when you have junk or sugar, which is why junk and sugar are very addictive foods. They release the dopamine straight in the brain. This is not necessarily a long-term thing, which is why you can experience a crash afterwards. And this is not necessarily a positive way to get dopamine. But when we have the correct amounts of dopamine in our systems, we are happy, motivated, alert, and focused. But then when the dopamine drops, we can become tired, unhappy, and unmotivated. Concentration becomes harder, mood swings, memory loss, and often a lot of the traits of ADHD become apparent, like daydreaming, coming off task, losing things, difficulty concentrating. Our brains rely on dopamine for functioning at an optimal level. We're doing everyday things. So the ADHD brain does crave and search for ways to get more dopamine. And we do this subconsciously without realizing it. This can be ways to sort of self-medicate this feeling of wanting this feel-good hormone. So we can raise our levels of dopamine in many ways, some being more positive and others being less positive, some being short-lived, in the short term, fantastic, and then maybe lead to crashes, and some are better for long-term achievements. So a fantastic one. Number one, physical activity. Now this has got to be an activity that the child or the person enjoys, like walking, swimming, playing a particular sport. But this can be fantastic for boosting levels of dopamine. Number two, we can boost our dopamine with our diet. And this can be found in foods like bananas, soy, avocado, eggs, nuts, whole grain, beef, fish, chicken, and foods like that. So rather than your junk, high sugar foods like that, which provide fantastic dopamine in the short term, but then they cause the body to crash and feel sluggish and lethargic and unmotivated afterwards when we've had the hit of dopamine. Not so ideal. Number three, sunshine. The sun can do fantastic things. So getting outside whenever possible can naturally give us that boost of dopamine. If we don't have that, if you live in the UK, like myself, there's not that much sun, even though it's supposed to be almost summer. So things like sun lamps or having taking vitamin D can be great as well. Number 4, having cold showers or just reducing the temperature of baths and showers can give a buzz of dopamine. Yeah, obviously done safely, like these freezing cold showers and things, and in being immersed in freezing cold water shouldn't be done for long periods of time because that can not be safe. Number 5, sleeping can really help to regulate levels of dopamine and has links to helping with that. Yeah, lack of sleep and sleep deprivation is not a good thing when we're trying to regulate hormones and emotions and concentrate and stay on task and do what's asked of us and everything else. Number 6, mindfulness reduces stress. So for a child, this could look like simple breathing exercises. Like, I don't know if you've seen where a child like follows the rainbow, colours in the rainbow from one side to the other, and they have to take a deep breath until they reach the other side of the rainbow and then come back, follow another colour all the way back. Fun breathing exercises like that. YouTube and videos like that have loads of ideas of things for mindfulness, and enjoy just something simple like colouring is fantastic for children and enjoyable too. Number 7, body doubling. Now, this is something I hadn't heard of till about a month ago. Body doubling is working with or next to other people. It's like a dopamine buddy. To stop you losing focus and to keep you motivated, you've got that other person there with you, either working on the same task or working on something separately. That gives you a sense of motivation, a sense of competition, even to keep you going, keep you on task. As they are working, you're almost modeling what they're doing and you're working too, or doing whatever it is you need to do. That has worked for me for a long time, and I've not even realised that that's what it was. And then, of course, like supplements and medications, which obviously go through your doctor, your pediatrician, whoever you are with, to be recommended. But common ones are taking iron, zinc, magnesium, omega-3, vitamin D3 as well are good ones to help the body too. Also, some little mini hacks like taking a break from whatever it is. Yes, you can be hyper focused if you were in flow, but if it is something that you are finding it hard to get motivated to do, then taking regular breaks can be a positive thing. Having 1 minute doing exercise, running on the spot, jumping jacks, whatever. For us adults out there, having coffee, having the caffeine in moderation can be a dopamine boost and a break. And same with snacks. Listen to your favourite song, completing a puzzle or word search or something can give you that buzz of dopamine and a break from your task. Listen to white noise. And I'd add into that as well, like ASMR. If you find videos on ASMR, can be very soothing and provide some like dopamine to the brain just for those short. But that might be something that needs a timer to keep you from being addicted and get you back onto task rather than scrolling and getting carried away down a rabbit hole. And having a timer on while you do a job, like a quick 2-minute timer while you wash up or do some cleaning or whatever. So just having those regular breaks can work as a motivator to increase your dopamine levels, and great to introduce for children, to help them keep on task during homework and things that they really don't want to do, like adding in these little things or even having like a little dopamine menu of things that they're allowed to choose. So when they've done their 5-10 minutes of homework or spellings or reading, okay, what do you want to choose from the list or the menu? Do you want to listen to white noise? Do you want to go and jump on the trampoline? Do you want to ride your bike around the park for 5 minutes? Do you want to get out in the sunshine just for a few minutes and then come back? And as well as that, it's the movement of going and doing those tasks as well. That is a fantastic motivator as well. So it's important to add these things in because, like I was saying in the beginning of the podcast, it can be easy to get into a negative loop where your child, often unknowing to them, needs the dopamine to motivate them, keep them on task, help their brains to function, and they will find opportunities to get the dopamine in negative ways. So by starting an argument through pressing your buttons, the teacher's buttons, the teaching assistant's buttons, to create friction and intensity, to be told off, because that does that provides them with the intensity and the hit of dopamine. Okay, yeah, it's not nice. It damages the self-esteem and it's not a positive experience, but it does give them that dopamine hit, that rush that their brain is craving. And if they find that especially in school, if that's the only way they are able to get the dopamine, then there's your cycle that will start. While when I'm getting less motivated towards the end of the day, I have to be disruptive in class because then I get told off and I get my dopamine. I have to be really difficult and refuse to do a task because then I'm told off and I get lectured by the teaching assistant. That gives me my dopamine hit, and then I can crack on and motivate. Often it is all subconscious, and your child will not know they're doing this, and certainly doesn't want to get in trouble, doesn't wake up and think, you know what, I'm going to get as told off as I possibly can because it feels great in my brain. It's all very subconscious, and they're often unaware of it, but they are getting this feel good feeling from the dopamine. So you want to introduce ways of them getting it in positive ways. And if you have got good relationship with the school, to ways of explaining to them if they are having difficulties or they are not aware, that if they can start introducing ways for your child to get positive hits of dopamine, like they can have that intensive conversation with a teacher about 2 minutes, something that they love, or they can go out and have brain breaks running around the playground or doing this really fun activity for a few minutes and then go back on task, or just any kind of interaction that's positive. Even telling jokes for a couple of minutes, something that's intense and gives them that boost that they are craving, will then reduce the amount of times that they are disruptive, they are argumentative, they are difficult in inverted commas and challenging, because they won't need to be. They won't have a motivation and a need to have to do those and behave in that way, because often that is the reason why the behaviours are occurring. And if you look at the times of day or in what particular events that your child is behaving this particular way to get dopamine, just be aware, because that's useful too. Is it when they're tired? Is it over a particular homework task or something that they don't like doing? Is it in a particular lesson at school? Just, it's interesting to see the patterns, because then you can think of ways to help. And also sharing this information with your child, there's no harm in explaining to them as well what their brain is trying to do. My son certainly, he's found it really interesting, because he goes, oh yeah, that's why when I'm told off by an adult, my brain races. That's how he described it, because my brain races and then it makes me want to do even more bad things, because he's getting that hit of dopamine from being told off. Whereas let's flip that, let's get them motivated and powered up with their dopamine from positive sources, from showing off what they're able to do, from showing off their achievements, from being praised, even if it's from the smallest, slightest little things. That is going to make such a difference. And I truly, truly believe, like, as well as connection and my relationship with my children now, that is the one thing. Like, he's not getting the negative supply of dopamine from me anymore. Like, obviously not always, we're not perfect, but 9 times out of 10, he's getting a positive source of dopamine, and he knows that now. He knows that I'm not going to enter into the arguments and disagreements. It's just, nah, just know that you're the adult, or just say to them, no, I see what you're trying to do, but I'm not available for an argument today, or just walk away, or invite them to come and do a task with you, invite them to walk with you, or help prepare food with you or something, and just get them moving, change the subject, and come back to whatever it is that's the point of argument at a later date, when people are calmer and they're not just out there searching for a boost for their brain. They can think more logically, and they're not just out there to get into arguments. So I hope that helps, and that you can look at your child and your family and the ways that your child gets their dopamine and powers themselves through things that they are less enjoyable, less favourable to them. So it's interesting to look and observe, and then be a team, work together as a team and problem solve. Your child's even more likely to want to find solutions and things if they think they've come up with the ideas. If they can say to you, yeah, that's a fantastic idea. If you did a timer of 30 seconds worth of me doing jumping jacks, then that would motivate me. Or they can come up with the ideas of getting the dopamine in positive ways, then they're more likely to want to do it, be motivated to do it, and they have a sense of achievement out of it as well, rather than just being told this is what we're going to do. Yeah, give them that list so they have that control as well. So it's a win-win. Absolutely. Thank you for listening. If you'd like support with your child or your whole family, you can visit my website, www.flourish-hypnotherapy.co.uk. You can find hypnosis audios for support with things like sleep, confidence, anxiety. You can have your own personalised audio created just for you or your child, or you can book in an RTT hypnotherapy session. All hypnotherapy is very gentle, relaxing, enjoyable, all completely age appropriate. So let's restore some happiness, because you deserve to feel happy, confident, and calm, and yourself again.